AI is a hot topic, and billions are spent every year on research and development. Google and Facebook are looking into how they can use AI to read emotion from people's faces, which, as an aside, according to an eminent professor of psychology, Lisa Fieldman Barrett, and her study as to whether we as humans can correctly read emotion from others' faces, apparently we can't. We guess. In fact, our brains guess. So AI stands no chance whatsoever in doing just that. So recently at CES 2018, for some time before, Sophia, the AI robot from Hanson Robotics, was showcased further. On first appearances, despite some rather creepy animatronics, we're given the impression that here is a sentient, to a degree, AI that can carry a conversation and understand and have feeling. Is all this just BS? Does Sophia represent true AI advancement, or are we being led a merry dance, a facade, and just watching a sophisticated puppet that is no more than just parroting what is being fed in well-scripted interactions? This is 3B, I'm Stu, and today we are going to investigate how Sophia's apparent AI is and what's being represented. So get your BS detectors out. We're going in. Hanson Robotics uses Sophia the robot as a means of showing how advanced their AI is. We are presented with videos on their channel with an apparent scientist dressed in white, looking as if he's fresh from a J.J. Abrams movie. He's having a conversation, a deep one, with a robot called Sophia. She's answering in a more humanistic way in terms of answering based on feeling, emotion, experience, and contextualizing what is being asked by what it knows from its own experience. Now, to look at it in a completely naive way, of course, it would seem that we, or more to the point, Hanson Robotics, have made some incredible real leaps. Anyone who was taking this as real from Hanson Robotics wish us to, and certainly represent the information and videos and findings as real representation of what Sophia is. However, to believe that Sophia is as sophisticated as they claim is both incredibly naive, but in terms of what Hanson Robotics are doing to propagate and influence this belief, and that we are already there, is hugely misleading and ultimately damaging. Now, I hate to break it to you, but Sophia is a fake, a fraud, an animatronic puppet with a scripted voice, pretending to show emotion through some very unnerving and dodgy animatronics, and through heavily scripted demonstrations. AI is nowhere near to the point where Hanson Robotics claim. We can't be. We haven't that level of machine learning and understanding, let alone the processing power capable in a device that is of that size, that walks a lot like Marvin the paranoid android from the BBC TV adaptation of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy from the 1980s. In fact, the BBC Marvin is about as smart as a 2018 Sophia. They're both controlled, scripted, and as smart as a dishwasher. Less so. Hanson Robotics was called out just last week or the week before by Yann LeCun, Facebook's head of AI, in his tweet basically calling it BS. Out of anyone, most people, he would know. But in many ways, most of us, as those of us that enjoy an interest in tech, should have known, and probably did all along, that Hanson Robotics is selling a dream, that Sophia, even in the words of Sophia's co-creator, Ben Goertzel, regarded that what we see and what is truly real. Goertzel defended it by saying it encouraged people to believe in AI's progress. Then when pressed further, he stated that Sophia is good publicity for Hanson Robotics. So there we have it. She's just a sideshow, not the real event, but a puppet of motors and latex, designed to give the impression of AI's advancement ahead of the curve, ahead of Google, Facebook, and many others. It's a facade, a promotion of lies with the intent of promoting the company behind it. In essence, it's BS, dressed up as scientific advancement. This, however, is really very damaging. We like to believe that companies, especially those linked to and developing scientific advancement in those incredible areas such as AI, are showing us what they really truly have found, discovered and developed. It gives us the hope that we as a race are making real inroads, and that these leaps are real, life-changing, and that we do live in these exciting times technologically. And as much as we do live in exciting times, and those companies and firms that are developing AI, learning and more, do share a good percentage of the time real evidence of their advancements in AI, the trouble is we as consumers of information, video and more, are lazy. We tend not to discern the source or its intent, and many simply take it as gospel. By that alone, we as consumers, viewers, passively take that information, and many do believe that Hanson Robotics' Sophia is as smart as we are led to believe through their promotions and videos, wherein factually Sophia is simply a marketing play to get us speaking about the company that created it. No more and no less. In that regard, Sophia is a success. Hanson Robotics got what they wanted, but it's disingenuous, it's factually flawed to the core and outwardly deceitful, leading many to believe that when true AI is presented by the likes of Google and others, that when those that are singing from the same hymn sheet written by Hanson Robotics, that those big firms are wasting billions on AI, if that's as far as we have come. Not really understanding the fact is that this is where we truly are, and that the likes of Hanson Robotics have been selling the dream, claiming it to be reality, throwing in some latex motors and pseudoscience to promote the company and not real AI advancement, can be ultimately hugely damaging to how people perceive advancement in tech and what's presented, but rather foolishly damaging to Hanson Robotics too, who come across as false. So what do you guys think? Do you think Hanson should be called out? Do you think that they should really represent where they truly are with AI? What do you think? Or do you just think it's just basic harmless fun and that, no one really cares that much? Let me know. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And please visit bitsbytesbobs.com website. Thanks again, and I'll catch you very soon. Cheers.